Today, Precarious plays
Deus Ex, Mankind Divided. How do you start a narrative-heavy game?
Introduce the characters? Set up the world?
No, I'm sorry. I meant for us. We can't talk over the opening cutscene.
I once thought I could save the world.
But I also just don't want to sit here and let it play out.
Now look at it.
I think we just do the verbal equivalent of nodding.
I guess that there's enough just pure imagery that's not even subtitled that we can still just keep talking. Adat, what do you remember about the end of our playthrough of Human Revolution?
No, not a whole lot, Rosma.
I think that's probably fine, because Mankind Divided doesn't either.
I thought... So the lady on the TV was not a lady, right?
She is a sophisticated artificial intelligence.
So, a lady, but not human.
Not a meat lady, no.
Not a meat lady. Yes, that is...
She's a kind of thought and energy lady.
Thought and energy lady.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you just have to let go and embrace what you've become.
Ooh.
Not gonna go all wonky on us now, Hansa, are ya?
Well, if I do, McCready, I guarantee you'll never see it coming.
Agent Jensen! Am I gonna have a problem with you?
No, sir. No reason to assume you would.
Good, because you are the only augmented operative on this team, and I intend to make good use of you.
Who's the prick?
Listen up, all of you. We've got a sandstorm barreling down our ass, and we can't afford to make
Jensen.
mistakes.
The other guy called him a slur.
Man, an arms dealer named Shepard. He's ex-Bell Tower.
It's just a future slur.
One of the Special Forces commanders who disappeared during the incident.
And he's come out of hiding. That cannot be good.
It's not. He's selling weapons and military-grade augments to terrorists. This is Iran Singh, the undercover agent who lured Shepard out of his hole. Best you see Interpol's got. For 3 years he's worked hard to get him tight with the Jinn, an Iraqi smuggling cartel that's infected the Eastern Hemisphere like a plague. Last week, our arms dealer sent a message to the Jinn, offering to sell them a shitload of black market merchandise dirt cheap. They told Singh to handle the buy.
They're not gonna like it when Interpol disrupts their party. Is Singh's cover really that good?
It is right now. We need to keep it that way.
It's actually pretty rough.
This is where the deal's going down. A half-finished high-rise hotel that's been abandoned ever since the incident. It's not a pretty picture inside.
Let me guess. Most of the laborers were augmented with heavy-duty industrial rigs.
This feels like
So
a
when the
different game.
incident hit, and they
What do
all
you
went schizo. Things got gruesome real fast.
Why is he on a
And
team?
no one, except for some homeless
not
junkies,
really.
have been inside the place ever since.
So what's the plan, Director?
Singh's meeting Shepard on the ground floor, inside the hotel's main atrium. He sent the bulk of his Jinn crew to the penthouse levels to secure a vantage point. I want McCready's team to take up positions overlooking the atrium and make the arrest. Jensen,
See,
you're
there it
going in
is.
solo from the roof.
My objectives?
Keep the Jinn from joining the party. As far as we can tell, only one route connects the atrium to the penthouse level, a halfway decent elevator shaft. Here. I want you to block access to it.
Fine. Just cut me loose.
Do you plan on relying solely on your augments for this one? I'd recommend taking a little hardware, just to be sure.
Are the augments not
We've got
hardware?
a UC in there. Might be easier to maintain his cover.
He was speaking
if he's not the only one still breathing when this is
euphemistically,
done.
I suppose.
Smart thinking.
Yeah, but if anything does happen to him, you'll be telling his wife. After you get out of the hospital, of course.
What
all
about range?
playful pricks.
There's lots of
Yeah.
wide spaces and high ceilings in there, but a number of tight and constrained rooms too.
So it's a crapshoot, really.
I'm pretty
Never was
sure
one
that
to play
they're
odds. Give me something I can use up close.
You got it.
ribbing one another in sort of a friendly,
Said the Jinn are using some sort of
masculine
portable
bravado
Wi-Fi device to boost
way.
communications. He's got a better chance of maintaining cover if you disable it.
Or
Keep
Yeah,
an
I
eye
think
on
that those two are actually friends,
Following
though,
on the clock here, you said there's a
if I recall
sandstorm
correctly.
There is, and we got the intel on this mission at the very last minute, so we're scrambling a little. If it comes to it, your number one priority is keeping the Jinn out of that atrium.
Copy that.
Time to put away your happy thoughts, gentlemen. We're approaching the target building.
You're up first, Jensen. Let's do this.
But that guy called Jensen a Hanser, which, if I remember correctly, by the time of the original Deus Ex, not Human Revolution, but the one that was made decades ago, very influential PC, just Deus Ex on the rocks, no subtitle. Hanser is a slur for people that are augmented, because it is already like unfashionable in this game, and by the time the original game in the chronology, or by the time in the chronology that the original game is taking place, there are maybe like 5 people that you see that are augmented in the whole game, and your protagonist is not one of them. Your protagonist has sort of the sequel, or one of the sequels to augmentation, which is nanotechnology.
The access route you need to block is at the far end of the penthouses. And keep in mind, the direct route might not be the easiest one.
Roger that.
McCready will advise once his team is on the ground. Miller out.
Okay.
So, a lot like our playthrough of Human Revolution, we're probably going to be taking breaks pretty often to just look at the environment design and all of the little details. So this is Dubai.
I like it. And there's that tower. I can't remember if it's the world's tallest or the second. So it's, another penis contest, whatever, but it's famous. It's there.
I've actually, I've sort of eased up on I've softened my view on the fairly obvious deck measuring contest of having really tall buildings.
Yeah.
Just because the amount of math that goes into them is actually really pretty impressive.
I don't want to suggest that they're not impressive. And I do think that having a lot of humanity take up a small physical footprint on the world's surface is a cool thing to do.
Literally, oh.
The Earth says no.
No, I'm gonna do a litter.
Oh man, why would you?
Littering. Does it splash? That's fine.
Okay, well, anyways, it never seems to be the conversation.
What's wrong?
Yeah.
Oh.
What's up?
That poor soul right there.
Yeah.
They have colors and shapes.
These are the inexplicably unrecovered bodies of people that were either unaugmented people like this person who was killed back here, or actually was probably injured and then bled out or starved to death, it seems like.
Poor guy.
Or this person I think is augmented, yes. So maybe that arm, it looks like. They're talking about the incident near the end of Human Revolution.
Oh yeah, where the augmented people kind of turned zombie behavior.
Yeah, or they sort of they had rabid characteristics.
Yeah.
Sort of like a loss of control.
I guess I do at least remember that. So this happened there, but nobody's come to pick up their relatives? How long ago was that?
A couple years?
Oh, yeah. Why? Okay, fine. All right. Sure, we'll go with it.
Well, it was supposed to be incredibly destructive. So maybe it's a situation where there were just too many people. What is it? Nope, is this the button? Okay. I'm playing with a DualShock, so the buttons don't quite match up. was working on the fan system when we lost power, stuck in here. But I think that means they can't get at me. They're killing everyone. They started screaming and attacking anything that moved. Where are you? If you can, make it up to the storage area on the roof. It's caged in. You should be safe there. Might even have some medical supplies. Door code is 4801. Uh-oh, I thought I set it up. Okay, no, but the right stick is working. This game was a little finicky to get working with a controller at all on PC.
Mm-hmm. Hey guys.
I went through and tweaked all of the control options repeatedly until I found something that suited me. Like, one of the most jarring things is it was detecting the 6-axis DualShock, the 3 or 4 motion controls.
Mm-hmm.
So every time I would move the controller at all, it would go da-da-da-da-da-da.
Oh, you.
I really love that you can see the sandstorm that they're talking about.
Oh, wow.
Approaching. Yeah. You know, now that I look at it, it's interesting. This is going to sound really crazy, but one of my biggest problems with the game whenever you get to the main hub is that I don't think that the sky box is animated. It doesn't look like it's animated here at all either. So I do think it's interesting that they animated the storm, but not the sky. That's a tiny shame in a game that has pretty impeccable just environmental design. Like the fact that they have the triangle motif that they use in so much of the Eidos Montreal Deus Ex series.
Yeah.
They have that triangle motif in the environment, but it's decayed and it's just beaten down, you know?
Yeah.
Is cool just from the start. I feel like there are probably some things that I should cover before we start encountering enemies.
Okay.
So we're playing as Adam Jensen again. From what I understand, that wasn't always the plan. Originally, Jensen's story was supposed to just end with human revolution, and they were going to have a new protagonist for this one.
Yeah.
But we've got Jensen again. I don't mind. Personally, I think Jensen is. I think there's still interesting stuff to say about Adam.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of our augments. We've got a fair number unlocked already. This is one thing that I don't want to get too caught up on right now, but we are almost definitely going to look at this stuff a lot throughout the game because the model quality is so high, especially in the PC version that we're playing. You can read all of the little like you can get pretty close to all of the little warning labels and things for a lot of the items.
Oh man.
So this is what the implanted rebreather looks like. And that's just cool.
Did I tell you I was catching up with one of our mutual friends not that long ago, and they told me that they ended up in a position where they're still in sales, right?
Yeah.
But they sell medical devices.
Yeah.
The kind of thing that gets like installed in a person, like that. Well, not as cool as that rebreather, but we're gonna pretend it's as cool as that rebreather.
Anything that could potentially lead to that rebreather
is as cool.
Gets grandfathered in on the coolness scale.
Okay, so they currently, not just as part of their sales, right?
Mm-hmm.
They are also, because of their product knowledge, they are, as part of the contract, required to be in the operating room in case the surgeons and the technicians installing it have questions.
Mm-hmm.
Ah! What? It's like, here's your titanium knee.
That's interesting to consider that essentially you need to have a mechanic.
Yeah, a mechanic with the
site.
Surgeons, with the anesthesia technicians.
Because it would be a lot to ask for a medical doctor to also understand all of the engineering implications. So there are a few things that I'm going to point out before we get started. How close are we to the end of an episode? It seems...
We could stop now.
Okay. So just briefly right now, I want to point out a few things. I feel like the augmentations, a recurring problem that we're going to see throughout this game is that you have augments that are a lot more impactful, like this one, Smart Vision, which is much more fully featured and provides a lot of detail in the environment. Mm-hmm. But it still runs on the same single meter that your glass shield and all of your other powers do, if I remember correctly. And I kind of wish that they had subdivided the energy a little bit. Like maybe I feel like the energy system still isn't resolved, even in the sequel, which is a shame. Just wanted to point that out. There's going to be a lot of me grumbling about like, oh, what do you mean I can't see someone through walls and then punch them and then turn invisible and run away? But I mean, mainly the reason why we're playing this game is just for stuff like this.
Yeah.
All of the environmental design is great. I can't wait to get to, I can't remember the name of it right now, but the hub city, we're going to spend so much time in the hub city just looking at architecture. It's going to be a good time for us. Not necessarily for anybody watching this, unless they too are interested in seeing, oh, there's a cool curved building. I can't wait to show you the curved building. I'm going to find it straight away.
Curved away?
What?
You're gonna find it straight away, but it's a curved building. I apologize for that joke.